My name is Charles Montgomery. I'm from Fresno, California. I've been dancing for 17 years, since 1993-94. Started out with a group called Climax, but before that I was in a crew called DIS. When we formed Climax, I just started traveling and just kind of, going up and down Cali, just making my way to a lot of the jams like Best of the Best, Step Up, Apocalypse, Radiotron, Freestyle Session, Fat Pounds, all kinds of cool little jams here and there. But in 1996, I linked up with a crew called Soul Control, and they were the Radiotron champions at the time. And they just kind of really gave us, some praise because we were basically not heard of at the time. Met some people like Iron Monkey, Ace, J-Rock, B, Cujo, Barmac, Chase, a lot of cool head stunts, G-Wiz, there at the Radiotron. I guess from us being there at the event, we kind of made some noise just in that, few hours that we were there, and came back to the Valley. And, my brother kept in contact with one of the forefathers of Soul Control, and ever since then, we just kept in contact and go up to LA and would link up with them, and was able to have another great opportunity by meeting Mega Man from Rock Force, the second generation Bay Area crew. And he eventually got down with Soul Control and would take me, to LA to visit them, and eventually worked my way down. And about 2007, 2008, I was working for a few different places, like a couple dance studios, gymnastics facility, just kind of, spending my time there and just earning some money and, trying to raise my family by, doing what I love to do, which was teach dance and tumbling. So eventually that kind of got old, and I just believed in starting something of my own, and so I ended up quitting a couple of those places and hooking up with my best friend, like my brother. He's the founder of my group Climax, Flip, Angelino Costello, and we just kind of invested into a house that had a dance studio, and I'm really blessed to have him as my teacher and my mentor for over the years to help me start SCMX, and not only just help me start the dance studio, but kind of like help pave the way, for my whole group, and everybody that is in my group today. So he's just one of those detrimental people that I think I've recognized over time. And we started SCMX Dance Academy, just trying to cater to what we specialize in, which is just self-esteem through b-boying or breaking, and trying to utilize what hip-hop has done for me, and just dance, man, period. Try to give some of these kids that are growing up in just a whole different time than what we did to kind of get up off their little butts and just kind of feel good about themselves, And so that's it. Just kind of building better people for society, and that's just how I feel about my dance school. Is I want to see kids smile instead of like be sad that they don't have something, or maybe their parents are splitting up, or they don't have the latest video game. Just to have a believe in themselves, and to help us better ourselves as people. That's just how I feel. And that's what the whole philosophy behind SCMX is self-esteem and just making better people.
6, 7, 5, 8, 9, 10.
Kind of paying homage to people like Flip and Barmac and Cujo and Pablo and Inferno, like a lot of my crew members, So I named it after them just to pay homage to them, because I know that they would support me in the walk of supporting kids with self-esteem, And I think if you support a child in self-esteem and making them happy, maybe they'll go and graduate college and feel good when they're at school, and they'll feel good about like doing little things, that maybe they never knew they can do. So I just look at it like my place is like a helping hand. Nowadays, I mean, let's think about it. Let's just say food, for example. People are not living in the rural times. So what happens is everything is at their convenience. So what happens is the children don't get proper nourishment with, you know, food. So when I think about, you know, getting food, you know, to the kids and getting the right type of food, you know, sometimes they don't get that. So what happens is, you know, it might make them weak in certain areas, you know, like, so if you're going to McDonald's and feeding kid McDonald's, you know, every night because you're too lazy to cook a dinner for your kid or kind of like support that, you know, then, you know, that impact of, you know, kind of being lazy, you know, is going to affect your child later. So what happens is, I mean, my place is to kind of promote healthy living, you know, and just discipline through dance so that when they get to be adults, they'll have some type of work ethic, you know. And I mean, even in school now, they'll be able to structure themselves. If they can structure themselves to do, you know, little footwork moves or do a spin or something like that, maybe they'll believe in a mathematical problem is able to, they're able to just knock that problem out, or, you know, they're able to read, you know, at a higher reading level, you know. I think of it like that because I wasn't that kid that was able to be in school all the time. You know, I had to take care of my younger brother, you know, I had to do this, I had to do that, and, you know, my motivation for school was just lost. So I had to regain that, you know, and structure myself, and I used dance to help me with that, help me graduate and all this other stuff. I mean, I'm blessed to have my place, you know, the place that I am teaching out of. I'm really blessed because I feel that if I didn't have it, I don't know what I'd be doing. No, I don't get flown out anywhere. You know, I'm not on the road to BC1. I'm not, you know, trying to win the next freestyle session. I'm not at Outbreak or anything like that. But do I treat my dance every day like as if I was? Oh yeah, yeah, I do. Every day. Every day. I mean, I get up in here and I treat it like as if I'm there with anybody who's flying overseas. You know, I believe in, you know, that this is an on-given thing, and certain people, they need their due, you know. I do. But without this place, maybe I'll just be working for somebody, or, you know, in some warehouse or something. So that's why I don't ever disrespect my place. I utilize it. I make sure that I get every little thing out of it, because one day I probably won't have it. You never know. You know, I mean, nothing is given, you know, not in this world. I love our dance because there's so many great things, you know, outside of power moves or, you know, spinning, you know, to just make yourself feel good. And I believe that, you know, I've acquired some really good skills over the past, you know, 10, 12 years of working on other things. And yeah, and it's opened up the door to where I can actually teach my students other things and feel credentialed at the same time. So, but I worked under really good people too, you know, and followed a great line of like teachers and just, you know, examples. Feeling like I'm coming into my prime. Back when I was 18, 19, 20, I wasn't in my prime yet. And I feel I'm barely hitting that now. And this is a whole nother chapter to what I have to offer, you know, to competitors, you know, or, you know, the dance itself. I mean, at the time I was 17, I was a young innovator, I guess. You know, I innovated combos like transitions, not a move, but transitions. So in the 90s, transitions were a big thing. Who could do this into that? Basically, like, you know, the difference, you know, when you're talking about competing, you know, do I still want to compete? Yeah, I mean, I ain't on the road to BC1 like I told you, man. You know, back when I started, it was like every practice or every event was more cypher-based. You know, like, nobody really cared about the competition as much as they do now. You know, and battles were so much longer. You know, we battled so much, you know, time-wise. It's just, we battled, man. We battled until, like, we hit the floor. You know, and what was cool was, you know, you have like a freestyle session, you have mad cyphers. At Radiotron, you have a really fresh cypher, man. And that's where we, we're eager to get into, was to kind of show and display what we could do, in a cypher, and I mean, so when it comes to competing, yeah, I miss it, but nah, I mean, taking it back to how I used to do it, and just, showcasing and just getting busy with people and having a good time, and then like, if somebody want to go down, go down with me, let's go down, that's what I miss most of all. Limelight and competing, I don't need it as much. I am who I am, and I mean, you wouldn't be here if I wasn't who I was and you wasn't who you was, you know what I mean? So, long story short, I miss that atmosphere, that environment that, jams used to bring. Was, more of that cypher base, we're gonna get down, so-and-so's gonna be there, you've been training, you've been doing this, you've been doing that, you get ready, and it was like word of mouth who won. It was word of mouth who like, did some crazy, ill move, or, was just dancing ill that day. Yo, you're winning, you're a champion, and that's how I feel. And maybe I'm not looked at the same way, but it don't matter. Because all that has to matter is to one person. And that's my little girl. So I'm holding that down. So if to anybody else, it really don't matter. That's irrelevant. When it comes to, I guess, motivation, some things that people say that keeps them going inside the dance, or inside what their livelihood is. Sometimes I feel that they're not really being honest with themselves. So I guess my daughter is the source of my energy. Without her, I probably wouldn't be alive, and that's the honest God truth. I mean, dealing with the certain things that I had to deal with in life, overcoming, just stereotypes, when it comes to just race, and growing up, southeast side Fresno was kind of hard to deal with, and got metal on this whole side of my face. And I remember when my daughter came to see me in the hospital, they had to tell her I was bit by a snake. So when it comes to all people that have been in my life, sometimes I just kind of find, the fit people that are going to be the most positive to be, not only in my life, but in her life. And there has been some really good people that have come in and out of our lives, including like my brother Pablo, which was her godfather. But now that he's not here, it's really tough for the both of us, because sometimes we don't have anything else to fall back on. And we don't have a lot of family, So I just kind of cherish everything that she is as a child and growing into a preteen, adolescent. And I appreciate all the little moments that we've had, since she was a little girl up until now. And she's my source of energy. She's the main reason why I breathe every day. Maybe that's why I'm not on the road anywhere. Maybe my road is right here. And everything that I do on the floor inside my studio, I do it for her, so that we have a roof over our head and food to eat. And basically, that's all I really can say in simplified ways. I fight every day here so that she's safe. And I stay strong every day, not for the world to judge me as a top B-boy or rate me on this and rate my family, rate my crew. You can rate me at anything, rate me as a father. Rate me as a man when it comes to my child. Don't rate me on who I am to you or who I am to that person. Rate me on my daughter. And she's my little buddy, man. She's my Ewok, you know? Everybody wanted an Ewok when they were kids. She's my bear, you know, and that's how I feel. And everything that I didn't have when I was a child and everything that I lost, I can see it through her growing up. So there's no reason to sit here and pout over shit that I didn't have. She doesn't have to deal with the things that I had to deal with. Mom doing heroin, father getting killed at 8 years old, brother dies when he's 24, 25. You know, nobody wanting me. I don't care about that shit. All I care about is that she grows up in a stable environment and she's safe and she has people that she can go to and rely on. And me, being her dad, #1 safety, that's all that matters. And any man out there that does have a child, especially daughters, if you know that you ain't doing your part, man, get up and do your part. If you a hustler, hustle for your kid. And that's just the truth.